I don't like to come in and see things fail, like I said. I want this to be good. I have to go see this, no matter what. So I'd rather go see a good movie than a bad movie. Bad movies are great for talking shit, and I love talking shit, you know that. But if I had a choice, I'd rather see a good film. And I'd rather see a movie that I think has promise, fulfill those promises and more. But I do feel like there is one big glaring problem right here. Hey, how's everybody doing out there? Corey here. When I say here, I mean back here in Austin, Texas, my home. Actually back in the studio. And I say this because last time you saw me, I was in beautiful Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. And I was supposed to be on vacation, but you know me. I had a camera on me and I was out by the pool filming stuff, technically working. I was under the palm trees, soaking up the sun, still had that camera out. You know, if I have a camera, you know, if I have a way to stream, you know, if I have you, I'm going to do my thing always. And I know some of you are saying, damn, can't you just sit your ass down and relax for once? Well, I did. When I got back, I sat down. I planned on taking it easy. I wasn't going to do anything, but some people won't let me do that. Like your boy KRAVEN the Hunter. Look at him. He's looking at me right now. Get your ass up and talk to me. And that is exactly what we're going to do today. You know, the KRAVEN the Hunter trailer just came out. And I'm sure that there are a lot of people who have a lot of mixed feelings about this. Some people have some very hard feelings and definite feelings about this. Me, there's a mixed range of emotions there about old KRAVEN. And that is what we're going to do. We're going to sit down. As much as I'd love to take it easy before I have to go off and do more shows this evening, we have to sit down and have an honest talk about this trailer. I got some things that I just got to get out there, and I'm sure you do too. So tell you what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and get a refresher by watching this trailer one more time. I'm sure you've seen it plenty of times already. One more time's not going to hurt you. Let's watch this trailer for KRAVEN the Hunter, and then we're going to come back and have that honest discussion right after this. God damn. Okay, I gotta admit, that's kind of badass right there. I'm not gonna lie, because at first I looked at that and I said, look at that fake ass line right there, that fake ass CG line. And then that line body slammed him like a wrestler, man, and tore that ass up. I mean, it wasn't like a line attack. That was like prison rape or something. The line's all up in that ass right now. It's like that line's been watching that bear from The Revenant. Your ass over here, you shooting that. Get your pretty ass. I just want to stop right there and just mention that because, like I said, I'm out here to give credit where credit is due, and I did think that scene was kind of badass right there. But yet I digress. Let's continue. Surely there are a lot of people out there who are looking at this, and they're saying right now, they're like, you know what? This is not the KRAVEN. This ain't the KRAVEN I know. This ain't the KRAVEN I saw trying to hunt down Spider-Man, the one that I know that I read in the comic books I had growing up, not the one I saw in the cartoons, Spider-Man. You know, this is not the KRAVEN that I am used to. And I agree with you on this, and we're going to get into that. Don't blame anybody for feeling like that. But as I said, you know what? I don't go into anything to just attack it. Well, okay, maybe sometimes I do. But I did look at this and I said, you know something? I want to be fair. I want to be completely fair with this trailer right here. And then hence having this honest discussion about this. So let's go ahead and get into this. And before we get into any kind of negatives, because I am a little worried. You know, I hate to be that guy. I do have concerns, as I do with anything. But again, I like to go in with an open mind. And I want to take a look at this. And I actually want to say some things that I saw here that, I don't know, impressed might be a strong word, but some things that I was surprised by. Some things that I said, you know what? And you know, don't run with this. But some things that I thought, you know, that's not so bad. For one, Sony, I am impressed that they finally went ahead and embraced that rated R. You know, they tried to avoid it with a couple of things. Venom, which worked out for them just fine. But Morbius, Morbius, I said before that probably should have been rated R, but they didn't want to do it because they always are planning for that moment when, who knows, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man might come in, and we don't want to put that rated R out there and scare the kids away and not be able to sell all these things and toys and stuff. So for them to go and have the balls to make this a rated R movie, I thought that was pretty good, and the action does look very cool. The action does look pretty badass here. Now that they pushed it to being a rated R movie. Like I said, they do some really cool things here. They took a bear trap to a man's face. He bit a man's nose off. Bit a man's nose off and spit it at us. Spit all that blood and snot at us right there. This is something that I thought, all right, you know what? You have the power to do it if you want to. You just don't want to cross that line. You want to keep an out for yourself just in case Spider-Man comes in. I thought that, like I said, that is something that would have worked with Morbius, but they didn't want to do it. And not that it would have made Morbius be a better movie, because this movie had a lot of problems. Yeah, I'm talking to you, man. You had a lot of problems besides just not being a rated R movie. But I still think there's a lesson to be learned here, that they should go ahead and push these things when they can and just go ahead and make it its own thing. Also, I don't mind the violence here because, something, I really don't like poachers. I don't like people who hunt animals. So to see some smug poacher get theirs, I'm just fine with that.
Where's Mr. Tagley?
Oh, you're standing in him.
So, I appreciate that they pushed it. I think that was a smart move. I think that's something that will probably bring an audience in that doesn't read the comics, that doesn't know anything about KRAVEN outside the comics or within the comics. Also, I have to say that Aaron Taylor Johnson, great casting. They got the look down. I actually am impressed with what they've done with his pretty ass. Look at him. They put him in the pose and everything. That also makes me wish that this had been more true to the character, looking at how they have cast Aaron Taylor Johnson and have him looking very much in the role of KRAVEN. Makes me wish that character would be the character from the comics. But no, all that aside, I think the casting is good here. The look is great. Now, who knows with this? I'm saying that at the moment, they're making this rated R, and maybe they won't bring Spider-Man in, but they do a little foreshadowing here. I doubt if they will do this. I don't know. Who knows what they're doing, because, they'll use any kind of image of Spider-Man, any kind of Spider-Man thing to pimp some other movie out. But, looking at this makes me think that maybe this character will change over time to where maybe he will fit into the appropriate KRAVEN that we see from the comics if he has to go in and fight Spider-Man. And not that I expect them to make this character accurate to the comic book version. It's too late for that already. I've already heard that he's vegetarian, he's vegan and love animals. As we know, the real KRAVEN in the comics, he don't give a shit about animals and loves red meat. But maybe they'll try to get closer than we think, than what we were hearing, than what we speculated, because, maybe he starts out as somewhat of a hero, maybe somewhat of an anti-hero, and then maybe he evolves into the villain that we see from the comics. It's something that they kind of hint at in the trailer right here, because they have that screen that comes up that says, villains aren't born.
I think you're some kind of hunter. You are exactly like our father. Just another man hunting for a trophy.
So who knows? Who knows? Maybe this will be a character that we don't really see yet, or maybe we don't know everything, and maybe this will get closer and just a little bit more accurate. I mean, like, we didn't get 100% accurate, but maybe a little bit more accurate than we thought, especially when we were hearing about the movie. Now that we see the trailer, that could show a little promise right there. So, as you can see, I'm keeping a very open mind about old KRAVEN right here. I think I'm being very fair. I don't like to come in and see things fail, like I said. I want this to be good. I have to go see this, no matter what. So I'd rather go see a good movie than a bad movie. Bad movies are great for talking shit, and I love talking shit, you know that. But if I had a choice, I'd rather see a good film. And I'd rather see a movie that I think has promise, fulfill those promises and more. But I do feel like there is one big glaring problem right here. And it goes back to me talking about how this is not really accurate to the comic book character. And besides the look, it doesn't seem like there's anything even close in here to what that Kraven is in the comics. So the problem that I see here is the same problem that we had before this golden age of comic book movies and superhero movies. And that is that they are taking way too many liberties. When you start doing that, that's when I start getting worried. So, they take so many liberties with this that it's not the character anymore. At least not the ones that the fans recognize. Sure, it might appeal to the action fans who don't read comics out there, who don't know the superheroes, who don't know anything about them within comics. But think about this. When did comic book movies and superhero movies really start to take off to the point that we have them now? Think about it. It was when they had that balance. Sure, they made changes that were either better for movies or had more appeal for mainstream audiences outside of the comics, but they also respect the fans. That's what makes Marvel successful. They don't ignore the fans. They don't take those liberties so far that they're just disrespecting what the fans love. And, I do believe that being faithful to the source, you can do that to a fault, but you have to do it to the point where it is respectful to what fans recognize. Because if you don't do that, then the studios are sending a clear message, and that is that they just simply want to cash in. And Sony's been doing that for a while. I mean, come on, this whole thing of, we have the Spider-Man property, so we're going to do whatever we want to with it. All of it has been to just make money, really. I mean, I'm sure, somewhere on the team had some real creative, true intentions. But, and sure, Venom has cashed in for them very well. The Spider-Man movies did fine up to a certain point. But now we see them starting to stray with things like Morbius and now KRAVEN. And listen, maybe I wouldn't feel so strongly about these liberties that they've taken here if they didn't look so ridiculous. Like I'm looking at this scene right here where I guess it's the origin of KRAVEN's superpowers, where a lion drips into his hole and he all of a sudden has lion powers. So what was it? Was he bitten by a radioactive lion, or was that radioactive lion blood that went to him? Because once that happened, all of a sudden he got lion powers. And I don't think it works like that. And I was going to let it slide. I mean, after all, this is a comic book. So I wasn't going to say anything. But then I thought, you know what, let me just go and do a little research. So I looked up his powers right here, and it said, KRAVEN possesses superhuman abilities conferred upon him via special herbal potions he periodically ingests. This gives him enhanced strength and super speed and blah, 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 superhero stuff. Okay, that's kind of silly too. That sounds like Herbalife, or that sounds like some shit you get at GNC or something like that. But it's the way the character's origins were written, and I still don't think it's as silly as, you get your powers or lion powers because a lion dripped on you. I don't know. That's ridiculous to me. It might make better sense when we see the movie, but right now, that's laughable right there. Also, the accent is gone. KRAVEN is originally Russian, and everybody knows that that's one of his big traits, his thick Russian accent. But here we have a Brit who sounds like a dude from LA.
You're a goddamn lunatic.
Oh, you just figured that out now?
It's funny because he does not have an accent. And I can tell you, it wasn't because of a story decision why they changed that. That's a couple of studio executives who made this decision. Because I can tell you right now, they felt that audiences would not be able to relate to him if he did have that Russian accent. But notice who they gave the accent to. They gave it to evil-ass Russell Crowe.
You know my business, yes? Power is about strength.
Show your ass off me. So it's kind of obvious here that was straight up a studio decision. They didn't want to give it to the guy that you're supposed to root for. They give it to the guy that you're supposed to hate in the movie. So far we've been talking about the trailer, but let's go behind the scenes with some stuff that might have me a little concerned here. And one of those things is the writer, Matt Holloway. Not saying that Matt Holloway is a bad writer, not at all. And I'm sure that he's done the most writing on this script because, well, Steve Ditko and Stan Lee, those two guys are dead. But looking at some of the films that Mr. Holloway has written, again, not saying that he's a bad writer, not even saying he's a bad movies. I'm just saying that these are movies that have not appealed to me. Iron Man. Okay, Iron Man's a good one. But then we have Uncharted, Man in Black International, Transformers, The Last Night, Punisher, Warzone. Not some of my favorite movies by a long shot. So that track record right there just has me a little concerned for this film right here. Let's talk about the history of this film. Some things that happened before the film was even made, like the casting. You know, at one time, Adam Driver and Keanu Reeves, they were approached to play Kraven, and both of them turned it down. And I'm not sure. Somebody told me, I'm not sure, but somebody said it wasn't because of a scheduling conflict. It wasn't because they were taking a break or anything like that. It's because they just flat out didn't like it. They just said it sucks. Or it was kind of insinuated that they just weren't very impressed with the script. So, and I never would expect Adam Driver to play this role anyway. And Keanu Reeves, he's too busy making John Wick. You know, he's too busy getting shot and falling off buildings and staircases. So maybe they did not have time. I know that Adam Driver, after Star Wars, he wanted to make cinema. You know, he wasn't so much into making more CG fueled movies or movies with, you know, more CG than acting in there. So I can understand why he wouldn't do that. But still, with them are having rumors of them saying that they turned it down because they just didn't like the script is something that also has me concerned. And finally, the last shot of that trailer. I got to tell you, I don't like it.
There is an animal in each one of us.
Don't you want to know why they call me the Rhino?
Okay, I know it's just an arm. I know see the whole thing before you pass any judgment, but I'm willing to bet that the Rhino, which is who I'm sure this is because he said so, is going to look silly. You know, I'm looking at this right now, and this looks like an arm out of a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. That looks like Rocksteady and Bebop right there. So I want to be pleasantly surprised by this movie. Like I said, I'm trying to hold judgment. There have been some movies that I went out and I talked trash hard on these movies before they came out and felt bad about it when I actually saw the film and enjoyed it. And that's what I want to do here. But, you know, I think my concerns are warranted. I think they're legit. But hey, who knows? Who knows? We'll find out when the movie comes out. Let me go to this trailer and see here. I believe they said that this will be out in October. It'll be on IMAX too. So I'm sure we'll get another trailer before that comes out. Maybe they'll show us more stuff. Maybe my mind will be set at ease when we see more from this movie. I really do hope so. I really do hope so. Because as I said, I got to go see this anyway. You know, I'm not going to avoid it. And if I have to go see something, I want it to be good. And hey, if it's good, who knows? Maybe we'll get that big Spider-Man and KRAVEN confrontation. Until then, with this, I don't know. What do you think, though? As always, let us know. If we have a comment section somewhere, put your opinions down there. You're going to do it anyway. Hey, put your comments out there about me, which you will surely do anyway. And I will be interested to see what everybody thinks about this. I really haven't read any comments about this yet. I'm just speaking off the top of my head right now. But thank you for watching. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you have to say and looking forward to seeing more of KRAVEN as we get closer to October. Don't hate on me, cuz.